Yes, no, what's happening, brother? You good?
Good, Lou. How's it going, man?
I'm sound, thank you, mate. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you sound, mate. What's been happening?
Not much. Just training.
Yeah, you've got some obviously exciting news, and I'll let you explain it, mate. Knuckle Mania 3.
Yep, Knuckle Mania 3. I just got permission to announce the opponent today. Will Santiago. He's a local New Mexico fighter out of Jackson Wink, I do believe. He's an MMA style fighter, and yeah, man, he's a short, stocky, powerful guy. He's 1-0 in bare knuckle, and I can't wait to get out there, man, and put on a show with him.
Yeah, and what a card to be part of, by the way. Like, seeing the names that are going to be on it: Diego Sanchez, Austin Trout, and that.
Yep, they released Diego Sanchez, Austin Trout, Juggernaut, and the Marine, and then the Wild Man versus the other one they released just the other day. I can't recall the other guy's name, but it's another good one. I think will be the featured fight.
John Dodson, was it?
Oh, John Dodson's on the card fighting as well. Who's he fighting? Jared Grant?
Yeah, Jared Grant. That'll be a good fight, won't it?
Yep, that's going to be a good one as well. Yeah, but that's another fight that I'm talking about. I can't. Croup, is that his last name?
Crew.
No, it's not Croup. I can't remember. Anyway, that's another one they announced recently. But yeah, the whole card is going to be good, man. And I can't wait to get out there to New Mexico and throw down for the locals.
Yeah. How long have you been in camp for now?
Hard training we've been in for the last couple of weeks. Hard training is going to be 8 weeks, but before the last fight, 8 weeks before the fight, I was coming off of being like really sick,
Yeah,
and having not really trained and not being in good shape. And this time around, I'm coming off 6 or 8 weeks before the training camp of just training twice a day and already in good shape. So I'm already in good shape getting ready for this fight. I'm going to be in like the best shape I've probably been at middleweight for 175 for a fight. So we've been at it for a couple weeks now. We're at 5 weeks away from the fight. So about 3 weeks, I've been training pretty hard, but 6, 8 weeks before that, I've already been training 2-a-days, nothing else to do. So all I do is train and stay ready.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're feeling a lot happier in yourself this training camp, as well as because last time you were on the podcast, you were explaining before your last fight, and like you just said there, you were really ill, weren't you? Was it with your stomach and that as well?
Yeah. Getting ready for that last one, I had nasty throat virus that had gotten me really, really sick. And so, yeah, the 8 weeks before that fight, training camp was pretty much just like a rehabilitational camp as well. I wasn't in like the best of shape ever to be going into a fight, but especially at 175, fighting back up at middleweight for the first time since I started bare knuckle. But now that I had 16 weeks to be preparing healthy, I'm going to be in great shape. My weight's going to be good. And yeah, I'm gonna be in good shape for this fight and well prepared.
Yeah, good stuff, man. And have you changed anything in this camp to what you'd do in any other camp?
I'm doing a lot of road work, but as far as changing things tactically wise, I mean, it's pretty much the exact opposite, flipped around on its head from the last camp. My last opponent was 6'6", so we were fighting as the smaller guy fighting the taller guy. Now we're fighting a guy who's 5'8", I do believe 5'9", and so we're going to be fighting the shorter guy. So as far as tactical wise, everything has switched pretty much complete opposite since the last fight.
Yeah, and do you expecting to go the full distance in this fight, or are you just going to go, hopefully, going straight for the knockout?
Without giving away too much strategy, I would say I'm going to be prepared to go the distance. I think it would benefit me to be able to go all 5 rounds with this guy. I think his first opponent was a little bit intimidated to be in there with him, be doing BKFC, and he was able to get it done pretty early. So I think the longer I can draw it out, the the more it'll help me. I'm the younger, more conditioned fighter, I believe. I think I should have my legs under me better. He's going to be more powerful. But, as far as going forward and getting a knockout, I think that with him being 5'8", he's going to go forward. He's going to come forward. He's going to have to come forward to get in there to get his knockout. So I don't even need to go forward and get the knockout. I think it's just going to come to me. But I'll be ready to finish this guy in the first or the fifth. It doesn't matter. I just want to rain down a hail of punches on him, like as many as possible, and put him away.
With a lot of fighters as well who normally win quick or easy wins, they're not really proven if they can go to the trenches and that other. Like, for example, you've proven in some of your fights that you can go to the trenches, battle it through and get the win. But some fighters, when they get to that trench mode, some fighters give up, don't they?
Yeah, not only that, but, going the distance and also, taking a knockdown and then getting back up. And, it works both ways to be able to take the knockdown and get up and still be there and be like, okay, I'm still here and I'm still looking for the finish. And the same thing for your opponent. When your opponent goes down and then gets back up, and maybe it was from your best shot, and you're like, oh, I just put him down with everything I had, and look, now we're still here and he's still going and he's still coming for my head. I think it definitely is a big benefit to be able to go the distance, to take the hits and get back up. And like I said, it works both ways in your mind and your opponent's mind when you continue to keep on trucking like that. And I think his opponent was a little bit of an easy opponent for his first bare knuckle fight, and it's going to be a whole different story this time around.
Yeah, it must be really disheartening for a fighter, even for an opponent, whoever's taking the damage, if you're given all you've got, or they're giving you all they've got, and you're still there, hands up, ready to go. Do you know what I mean? Must be disheartening for a fighter.
Yeah, absolutely. And every fighter experiences that, whether they want to admit it or not. Usually, maybe if you get a couple knockdowns in a fight, like the first one is kind of like, okay, he's probably going to get up. We're probably going to continue. Maybe by the second or third one, once you take in some shots and you're getting hit and you're exhausted, you're looking at him on the mat just like, oh, just stay down. Just stay down, because I know I done gave it almost everything I got. And if he keeps getting up, then I'm not going to have much more to give. And it can be. It could be completely disheartening for a fighter. And, like I said, I'm one of those guys who's going to be in there. I've had one bad fight where I couldn't get up, but I'm going to be in your face the whole time, and I'm not going to be intimidated by the fact that I came over into your hometown and that we're at Knuckle Mania in New Mexico and all these people are here to see you, and that Jackson Wink's a popular gym out here and this and that. Like I said in the post, you sell the tickets and fill up the house, and I'm gonna come there and bring it down.
Yeah, class. I'm proper excited for the show. Like, is your love for bare knuckle as strong as it's always been since the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love doing the bare knuckle. I think it's the best sport for me. I'm going to look to do some other things this year. I might get into something else. This month, I'm about to receive my black belt in karate. So I might be interested in getting into some kickboxing, or possibly karate combat is a league that I'm really interested in. That's basically kickboxing mixed with ground and pound and a couple of different other kind of rule sets. I think it's a really neat. But as far as overall, I love bare knuckle, man. Bare knuckle's where I've made my bread and butter. I've made the most money as a combat athlete. Is where I really feel like I started my career. I started as a professional MMA fighter, but fighting in the regional MMA hasn't been anything compared to fighting for BKFC on a world stage. We're going over to England now. We're over there. We got steady fights in the UK. We got fights in Asia. We got whole organizations starting up all over the country just from BKFC. So yeah, man, I love it here. I love fighting here, and I'm going to continue to keep fighting for BKFC.
Yeah, great, mate. And obviously the production and everything that the BKFC bring, it's just on another level, and you just know you're at the top. you're where the superstars are, like these big boxing shows and that. The production's very similar. It's at the top, in it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's one of the things a lot of people say whenever I show them boxers, MMA fighters, coaches all over different gyms. Every time they watch a video, usually their first comment is on the production of the quality of the video, and they're like, "Wow, this looks like something you would see on Showtime Boxing, or this looks like something you could see on like ESPN Plus for a UFC event." So the production is super great, and yeah, the amount of people that we reach with the fights is just insane. You know, I got followers on my Instagram from Canada to UK, Asia, you know, all over the globe, and the majority of them follow me from BKFC.
Yeah, and it's only going to get bigger, mate. And I really do think this time next year, or in a couple of years' time, they're going to be on the major sports platforms, televised. That's what I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be great to have like a regular like affiliation with the BKFC to do interviews, and instead of going out and getting all this stuff on your own, you know, like I know you probably send DMs to guys on your own all the time, to just
Yeah.
have BKFC like, here's the card, here's the UK fighters, here's a list of guys, you just interview them for us and get it in. And yeah, I'm sure it'll definitely get to that point.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It'd be great for everyone, because obviously you guys have been in it really from the beginning, haven't you? Everyone who's in it now, really.
Yeah.
It's we were talking the other night with Connor and that on a live, and they were saying it's like when UFC started, and you had like Ken Shamrock and all the people in it from the beginning. They'll always be remembered because they were the fighters from the beginning of when it all started.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they laid the groundwork, and there might be some newer people that don't even realize or remember who some of those fighters are, but the hardcores and the fighters and all the, like I said, the hardcore fans all remember who it was before that laid the groundwork back before, you know, fighters were making hundreds of thousands of dollars and selling millions of pay-per-views and things. It was just a small, very small group of people, you know, fighting for hardly nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Who do you think is going to win on the main card then, out of Lorenzo Hunt and Mike Richmond? That's if
a tough one.
That's if you want to say, by the way.
Yeah, you know, I don't normally make predictions since I'll be there fighting, but I'll just say for that fight, I know a lot of people are probably going against Juggernaut, saying Richmond. I think Juggernaut is really smart about the way that he goes about handling his media and his career, and really making, you know, like I was there in the fight against Quentin Henry in the last fight, and he has a way of like getting underneath of your skin and making it to where you don't like him, and that's kind of the reason why you want to fight him, and that's the reason why Mike wants to fight him. And I think it ends up being a detriment to his opponents usually, because you make this build up, you know what I mean? You kind of put yourself in the spot to where you want to shut him up, and you dislike him, and it builds extra anxiety and different things like that. Now, Mike, he's a spectacular fighter. The only thing I could say is that he got a little bit touched up in his last fight against Doolittle. I was pretty surprised, and I think, well, maybe not. I think everybody was surprised he was able to take that and then come, like we were talking about, take that punishment. And
just gassed out, didn't he? That's the only thing.
Yeah, you know, he got literally tired of hitting him in the face. You know what I mean? He got tired from punching him in the head. But I mean, Richmond, yeah, again, to be able to be that kind of individual to take that sort of punishment and to still be there and get that timing down and catch your opponent while he's slipping when you're, you know, in real bad trouble the way he was. I want to say Doolittle's not as good as an opponent as Juggernaut, but Juggernaut's a phenom. So if Doolittle was able to do that to him, he's going to have to be careful, because Juggernaut is going to really put it on him. And Juggernaut's got the gas tank, I think, to stay there and continue to put him on through the whole fight. So I'm not making predictions for that one. But that's going to be a good fight, man.
Yeah, you're right about him getting in the heads. Like, just clicked in my head there. Like when he done it to Riggs, where he put the tomato in his face, and then obviously with Lombard, where he jumped over the ring and then took his belt and started smashing it off the floor. He gets into all the heads, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think Hector Lombard is a prime example of that, really, because he really didn't like him. There's a lot of animosity leading up to the fight, but then when it got to fight night, when they were doing the interviews right before they walk out, you could kind of see this anxiousness in Hector, almost like a nervous energy in him, to where, like I said, it starts to become a detriment and it doesn't work to your benefit, to where like, oh, I hate this guy, I want to just go out there and kill him. It starts to work to like, oh, I said I was going to do all this stuff to this guy, and now I got to go out here and back it up. And if I don't do that, now I'm going to look, a fool in front of everybody, and I don't want that to happen. So it definitely, like I said, with Hector, I think it was a prime example of how it can work against you, and not to get wrapped up and start taking it too personal. I don't think I've really ever gotten personal with opponent, and every time somebody tries to, I usually just brush it off, because I know it's really not even personal. They're really just trying to mess with me and get in my headspace and disrupt my performance. So, like I said, I think Juggernaut's really good about doing that.
Yeah. How do you get yourself in the frame of mind, in the zone, to go and have a bare knuckle fight with an opponent you've got no beef with? Do you know what I mean? Is it hard to get going for it, or?
With an opponent that I don't have beef with, nah, it's not hard for me to get going. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been fighting for a long time. I did 12 amateur MMA and 8 pro MMA fights. It's going to be my 8th bare knuckle fight, so almost 30 fights overall in my career. And I don't think I've ever beefed with anybody or really ever had content against one of my opponents coming in, to where I ever had that, to where they were obnoxious or they were talking trash to me. The guy my opponent that I'm fighting, actually, I saw right before I got on here, commented on my post I just posted. And I was like, what did he comment? Is he talking crap? Is he going to say this? And he was just like, right on, man. I can't wait to fight you. Looking forward to it. It's like, all right, well, I've never had to deal with that, but it's almost easier for me, like I said, to just go in there with no issue, no problem, no disrespect, no, like I said, I think that works against you in the overall, to where if you're like, I don't like this guy, I want to hurt him. I mean, we see all the time people use that in game plans purposely to disrupt people's performances. Like, I'm just going to put him out of a different headspace, make him want to punch me. And the more that you want to punch somebody, sometimes the less you end up hitting them. So it's great for me to just go into it completely neutral. You know what I mean? No problem. No dislike for the guy. We're both going to go in there and fight and make money for our families. And, but no doubt about it. I'm coming to win the fight. I'm not going to fly away across the United States just to come and lose.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And hopefully you're going to come and cross the pond and fight in the UK one day, mate.
Yeah. We talk about it every time we do an interview, man. I think that this year is really going to be the year. Obviously I manage myself, so I'm in talks with the matchmaker every time I do my contracts, and I got a pretty good idea of where it is that I sit at in the company and where I'm going to be at on the card. Obviously, I'm fighting on Knuckle Mania now. I'm going to be at the beginning of it.
Massive card what you're on now. Like, you're getting good slots, aren't you? Because when I've looked at the main card of Knuckle Mania, you're up there like in the top half of the card, aren't you?
Yeah. We'll probably be in the middle of the card. I'm guessing towards the beginning, but probably not on the prelims. But fighting on this card, I go there and I get a win, move my record to 4-4, and stay in the middleweight division. That'll be at middleweight. That'll put me at 3-1 at middleweight. So after a win on a bare knuckle card, and especially an impressive win or an exciting win, I could easily see myself being in a co-main event or a featured fight on a fight night or a local card in Florida. So I think this year, something like going to London, kind of like what we saw Joe Elmore do.
Yeah.
A couple American fighters going over there to fight a local guy. I could definitely see something like that taking place. So I'm just going to keep climbing the ladder, man. And, you know, like I said, BKFC lines them up and I knock them down, man. I stay ready. That's why I've been training so hard before I got this fight. Is because every time they do a fight, I contact the matchmaker and I'm like, hey, if somebody falls out, if you need somebody at this weight, I'm ready. I've been training. I will get on a plane. I'll get in my car and show up and come fight at the drop of a dime. And they like that, and it presents a lot of opportunities for me because of that.
Yeah, I've always said what would have been good for the bare knuckle if they done like not so much like so many fights, just one fight each, and you had the USA team and the UK team, sort of like the Ultimate Fighter, but like a bare knuckle version where the team with the most wins gets like a prize money pot split between them or something. Do you know what I mean? Some stuff like that, a little series, a TV series type thing.
Yeah, they could do something like that. I don't know. I've thought of that too as well, because I don't know what the platform would be, how we could do it, like to make it into a TV series or a way that, we could continue that on for long enough for a series. But you could do something like that. We could also do like a tournament style, just kind of like Pride and Bellator just did, or not Pride, but Ryzen and Bellator just did, like champions versus champions, or top contenders versus top contenders. And now with the UK bare knuckle, I was thinking after the last card, because there was a fight on there to where there's a, I don't remember the weight class, but there's a UK bare knuckle champion in the same weight class that we already have regular BKFC champion, you know what I mean? So you could do like a title eliminator UK champion versus American, like undisputed kind of thing as well. So yeah, I think they should definitely get on that.
It's a bit weird how the UK belt will work, because it's not as if there's an American belt. Is that, do you know what I mean? The belt in America is a world title, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I said it is interesting the way they did that, because they made a UK champion particularly in one weight class, but there's already the regular, so they need to maybe unite those together, or do a number, or bring them together and make it undisputed or something, even though the one is already undisputed. So it is pretty interesting. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that moving forward, if they're going to make UK belts in every weight division for that organization over there. And then you got the same situation like Mick Terrell fighting for a number one contenders fight against Arnold Adams. So
yeah, it's exciting, mate. Obviously they've got the BKFC Thailand belt as well, haven't they?
Do they have a belt there as well now, the Asia? Yeah,
got
so
one
there you go. I mean, it is strange because the obviously I keep saying, we're referring to it as the United States belt, but the BKFC belt is like a world title. So when they do these UK organizations and Asia organizations and they add belts, it's going to be interesting how they do it. I guess it'll be a bit like boxing, I guess, like, you got your WBO and then another heavyweight champion from another organization almost, and then they fight each other for kind of the undisputed world heavyweight champion is what it seems like it'll be kind of like.
Yeah, and obviously, say like our UK champion went and fought the Thailand champion, and our UK champion won. That means that Thailand belt would be in England then, and then that Thailand wouldn't have a belt in that weight class until they won it back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's mad, isn't it, when you think about it?
And the same, if they come over and fight, the UK champion fights for the undisputed BKFC belt, it's, if they win, do they take the belt back to UK with them, or if the American fighter wins, do they keep the UK belt? And then I don't know.
Is there any UK fighters you've seen in your weight class that you think would make up a good matchup?
Not particularly. Do you know any offhand at 175? The majority of the ones that I see are at like 165.
Yeah, there's loads, mate. There's loads. They all
Because
love
they got
it.
Connor Tierney is fighting Lily coming up, right?
No, Conatini's fighting Jake Lindsay.
Jane Lindsay, sorry, that's his last name, Jane Lindsay. They're both UK fighters, right? 165ers?
Yeah, 165 they're fighting at, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know any 175ers offhand that I could fight, but if there were, then I would, and BKFC would line it up. I'd be happy to go over there for an event. I think it'd be a lot of fun, and it'd be a good way to get another. How do they usually, like when Joe Elmore went over there and fought? How do they take in foreign American fighters? Do they?
No, it's all right, mate. I think obviously you get the odd people, like say for example the opponent's fans, they'll shut the odd boo out and that, but quite respectful over here, really, mate. I think they respect what you guys are doing. Do you know what I mean? It's not like bad like you think, where it's screaming and they hate you, and that's like at the end they were both cheering. The full arena was cheering for him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mike Perry walked out. Everyone loved him.
yeah, yeah. That's how it seems. It seems like UK fighters really enjoy. Obviously, you're for people that don't know, Lou sends me bare knuckle videos on my Instagram almost every other morning of these United Kingdom UK bare knuckle fights that are happening out in the streets. And so you guys seem to really like and have an appreciation for the sport, especially bare knuckle, that a lot of countries don't seem to have. So it does seem a lot like very respectful, like not so much bad blood, you know what I mean? I would compare it about just like going to somebody's home state and fighting them. It's never, I don't really ever feel animosity when I'm out in the crowd or anything afterwards. People will come up to you and they're usually excited to talk to you for putting on a good fight.
Yeah, of course, mate. And it's like I put them videos on because obviously you'll be going through the same thing where you were living. Knife crime and that, mate, now so bad. I'm not trying to be like a big knife crime ambassador, but everybody loves a proper fair fight. And do you know what I mean? The more I can put it out there, the more normal it'll become to people, because now you watch someone or newsflash someone getting stabbed, it's just normal. You just flick past it, or another one. Do you know what I mean? Where years ago it'd have been a big thing over here. Wow, someone's been stabbed. Do you know what I mean? Where now it's just an every other day thing. People are getting stabbed left, right, and centre. It's scary, man. And obviously the youth. Like I put a video on the other day, there was two young lads, they must have only been 16-year-old, had a proper fair fist fight, where that's very rare in this country, mate.
Yeah, and also I was thinking about watching it and like you're saying, kind of normalizing it and making it an okay thing. And one thing I also realized is in the culture is a lot of the times, I don't know, maybe you could kind of tell me, maybe they agree on this right before they fight, but it always seems like it's always hands and from the waist up, and people are kind of also monitoring it and like refereeing it sort of. And then a lot of the times, I guess, if they don't agree to like ground and pound or clinch work, and then as soon as someone starts clinching or someone falls down, kind of like almost like a hockey fight, someone will break them and then stand them back up, which is, I was thinking, is good for the culture overall. Like you were talking about knife fighting, and obviously in America we have gun violence as well. But also separate from the knives and the guns, one thing we have in America is like this world star type of mentality where you'll see somebody just kick the crap out of someone and then go over there and stomp on their head when they're on the ground, and a crowd just cheering it on like, oh, it's so great. And, it's this terrible thing that's happened. So I think that culturally is really good that they fight. And then they also have someone refereeing it and monitoring it and not letting somebody get really, you know what I mean? Nobody's going to get really bad hurt. No one's going to get their head stomped on with a crowd standing around cheering that person on who could almost just killed somebody.
Yeah, it's a lot. Mainly, a lot of the fights that I do put on is from traveling men. Like gypsies.
Yeah,
mainly from over here. Like the way they do it's class, innit? They have like a fair play man who's sort of like a referee. They make sure no one's getting a slide boot in. It's the man versus the man, fair fight, shake hands, go home.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I think it is important to promote that and to promote fair fighting as well, not just because of knife and gun violence, but also because of unfair fighting. Like I said, that world star kind of hip hop mentality to where somebody gets beat up or somebody gets beat up by a crowd of people and gets their head stomped on and people are cheering on and loving that. It's like, that's a terrible mentality to have, and to be to showing young kids and stuff, you know, the fair fighting is a lot better.
Yeah, it's crazy, mate. But anyways, mate, tell us a bit about this Kiss My Fist. I'm just going to open this up.
Yeah, man. Kiss My Fist is my #1 sponsor right now. They come through. They're pretty much carrying the weight of the whole ship on their shoulders. My edibles, anybody in the U.S. can order them. I love them, man. I had them after my first bare knuckle fight, and now I don't go into a fight without them because the little bit of edible marijuana makes such a big difference, man, for pain management and stuff. So yeah, Kiss My Fist. Shout out to them, and shout out to my girl Sydney Martin, my tax agent, who takes care of all my taxes. And you can get info for all of them on my Instagram page.
Yeah, sick. This Kiss My Fist, it's THC as well, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Not just CBD. It's no good just CBD, is it?
I don't mind the CBD. I like it, and CBD is good. It got good benefits, but man, with the pain, especially with pain management and stuff, the CBD just kind of doesn't touch as much as the THC will. It really knocks it out in a good way, and I recommend it for fighters, so you're not taking pills and freaking opioids and different things like that for your sore backs and for your soreness after fights.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give them a try. Like, can you order them online?
Yeah, you can find them online. I'm not sure if we could ship over there, but we might be able to work something out. Yeah,
sweet. Is there anything else that you want to share with us, Noah, or any big ups or sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Like I said, right now, Kiss My Fist is my #1 sponsor that's come through. We got more sponsors hopefully on the way. It's still pretty early. I'd like to just say shout out to any potential sponsors that would like to get on my team. Knuckle Mania 3 is going to be the biggest fight of the year, and it's only February. And yeah, it's going to be a great show. And everyone that gets on the team, I'm doing special stuff this year for. I got professional and video photo shoots planned after the fight. So I'm going to be making commercials for all my sponsors pretty much. So yeah, anybody that wants to sponsor a handsome, violent gentleman, please message me on Instagram.
Class. And yeah, everybody, I'm going to put Noah's social medias in the description, so any sponsors that are interested in, maybe even people in the UK, to get their brand out over in the USA on these big shows with like Diego Sanchez, Austin Trout, all these big names fighting on it. It's a good opportunity, so hit him up, and I'm sure we can sort the job out for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I talk to UK companies and sponsors as well all the time because yeah, it's just as popular over there. So you know you're going to be seen. And yeah, I just talked to a UK ice bath company the other night. So anybody in the UK or America, we're seen around the world. So and obviously I do interviews with everybody around the world as well. So
yep, of course, mate. Well, we'll have to stay in touch, mate, and we'll get something else wrapped up closer towards the fight.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'll be always happy to come on with you.
Sweet, mate. And I'm wishing you all the best, mate, in your camp and that. And we'll catch up very soon. We'll stay in touch.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Lou. Have a good one, man.
You too, mate. Speak soon, yeah?
Yep.
Ta-ra, brother.
Hi, brother.
Yes, people. Nice one for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. We're going to keep pushing it with the podcasts. Looks a bit dark in here tonight, like. But I haven't got me light on. Forgot what they're called now. Light on a stick. But yeah, appreciate everyone coming on. Richard Doughty, Rubber Chicks. Have a good night, people. Good night.